She walked into his world with bare feet and a small bundle of plantains. Her name was Amina. He was Daniel, a millionaire whose name made doors open. When he stopped at her stall to buy food, people called it fate. But fate, like money, can hide debts. Amina had a secret that could shatter the mansion he would build for them. Daniel noticed her because she did not look away. While others staged flirtation, she was honest. Her eyes held the weathered truth of someone who had learned to survive. He returned to buy another plantain, and then another, until curiosity became attention and attention became offers he meant to make sincere. To him, marriage was a new language. To her, marriage was shelter and risk stitched together. At first, the change was a miracle. Medicine for her mother arrived, a bed that didn't creak, dinner that did not require bargaining. The household taught her new routines, silverware, quiet smiles, and the strange politics of polished rooms. She learned to laugh at jokes meant for another world. Daniel's kindness was soft and steady. He warmed the things she feared. For the first time, Amina breathed without checking the cost. But the past is not a thing you can lock in a drawer and forget. A small box in her trunk carried a receipt, a torn photograph, and a name that refused to be anonymized. Before the mansion, before silk and ceremony, she had made choices under hunger that would look ugly in the wrong light. Those choices were practical then, now they were dangerous. Stella saw danger where Daniel saw promise. She had ambition shaped by a family that measured worth by alliances. Envy became her map. She watched Amina's small, honest gestures and counted them as threat. In drawing rooms, Stella turned murmurs into currency and offered company to people who traded in secrets. Where Daniel gave kindness, Stella bought influence. Amina felt pressure first as small things, a misdelivered plate, a cold smile. Her hands grew taut, her laughter tightened. She tried to tell Daniel to make the past make sense, but words are fragile when placed in rooms that prefer gloss. The mansion needed stories that matched its sheen. Her history did not fit. Then Matilda came, a woman from the market with eyes that had known hard bargains. She remembered Amina's life before the ring. She remembered arrangements made under the hot sun and deals whispered between hunger and dusk. Matilda approached not with malice, but with a pragmatic offer. Protect your child by arranging what it takes. Speak, and the past will disappear into a convenient narrative. Amina's fist tightened. Survival had taught her to be swift, but motherhood rewired the risk. The little drum beating under her ribs, her child, made her count cost differently. She refused to trade this life. She refused silence. Stella did what predators do. She turned gossip into proof. A helper who listens for coins was paid. A photograph surfaced at the wrong moment. A paper with a name started to circle. What had been private became a spectacle. Faces cooled. Friends glanced away. Daniel's family, frowning, became a crowd of quiet judges. He felt betrayed, not for what she had done, but for being kept in the dark. In his world, love meant shared histories. He walked through the mansion like a man who held an unexpected map. Amina tried to explain the market, the choices, the hunger, but explanations in rooms that crave comfort sound thin. The mansion's silence was heavy. It preferred narratives that matched its mirrors. When things skewed, they did so fast. Accusations were laid out like subpoenas. Daniel, caught between love and reputation, shifted from husband to arbiter in a heartbeat. He hesitated. He listened to the voices that said appearance mattered. For a moment, it seemed the house would choose a reputation over a person. But power also lives in truth when someone decides to speak it. Amina did not beg. She stood. She gathered small evidence, receipts, names, a witness's memory, and she called the room to listen. She did not perform a spectacle, she offered a ledger of truth. The turning point came when a helper, bought by rumor, found conscience. The market woman Matilda, who had once suggested silence, stepped forward with a different story. Not to destroy, but to reveal the pressure that had shaped choices. She told of hunger, of bills that could not wait, and of how survival often masqueraded as shame. Her words cracked the polished armor of the mansion. Daniel watched as the narrative shifted. He remembered the first day at the stall, the patient strength in Amina's eyes, and the way she had laughed when his world had seemed so foreign. He realized his quick judgment had been a convenience, and with that he stepped back from the crowd. In front of the people who had come to watch a life judged, he took Amina's hand and spoke truth. Stella's plan unraveled slowly. Proof of bribes, whispers, and self-serving witnesses emerged. Not every villain falls dramatically. Some implode because their motives were hollow. Stella's ambition had been a hunger dressed as destiny, and when the hunger was exposed, there was nothing heroic left to defend. There were small scenes that stitched their days together. Amina at dawn frying plantain with hands that moved from muscle memory. Her childhood taught her economy and care. She remembered selling her last coin so her mother could have tea. Those moments were not shameful, they were survival. When accusations fell in polished rooms, she did not crumble. She catalogued them, named them, and returned with facts instead of pleas. The wedding hall became a theatre for choice. Guests found themselves making a moral decision without wanting to, accept glitter and forget a life, or listen to someone shaped by hardship. In the hush, Amina walked in and spoke the truth the way someone reads a ledger, clean, precise, calm. Her words landed with the weight of evidence more than with the urgency of accusation. Matilda's change of heart mattered. She stood and recounted the market's pressure, describing how hunger makes bargains seem like salvation, and how towns learn to look away. Her voice was small but steady. Conscience, when multiplied, nudged those ready to judge into a different posture. After the dust settled, ordinary life stitched them back together. Amina cooked plantain the way she always had. Daniel watched with a respect no boardroom could grant. Repairs were made with neighbors and small favors traded in human currency. The child's birth was quiet and loved, not a cinematic crescendo but the true center of the new household. Years later at dinners, guests teased about the old receipts in the kitchen drawer. Amina would pull one out and tell the short story of where they came from. No martyrdom, just facts. People listened then with different ears. The mansion had learned to remember the market. A small culture of humility grew in its halls. The lesson is simple. What do you do when a secret can break someone? Weaponize it or allow the owner to speak. Amina's secret could have destroyed her. Instead, by claiming it, she turned it into a tool of truth. Daniel learned that loyalty means standing publicly, not hiding privately. Wealth remained, but its value shifted. It became a resource for repair, not a shield for shame. They kept the receipts as a quiet map of where they had been. If Amara's courage moved you, tap like and subscribe. We share powerful African stories like this every week. Tell us in the comments, would you have revealed the secret or kept it hidden? Share this video to give someone hope and hit the bell so you don't miss the next twist.